Our project was Save the Maldives. So how else are for myself, on first day back in America, watched a video of him, and I was made aware that just how big a problem global warming is. Like I understood that we had global warming pollution, but I didn't realize what extreme it was. And so to find out that Earth is actually dying, us humans are killing the Earth bothered me, and I wanted to do something about it. And then also that night when I went home to talk about it with my dad, he kind of interrupted me. He's like, "Oh no, global warming isn't caused by humans. It's natural. This is all natural." And so I wanted to kind of prove him wrong and show him that no, this is us, and then at the same time I also wanted to try to make at least a little difference.
Different from Grace, I actually had a previous experience with working from an environmental committee, which is called TENZA. It's a small NGO which teaches basically teenagers and has discussions about the world environment problems. And it's actually a small group under UNEP, which is a organization under the UN which deals with environmental issues in general.
So the Maldives situation. So the Maldives is a country made up of around 1,300 islands, and only 200 of them can be inhabited by humans. And so the highest point of the Maldives is only 1.8 meters, and in the last 150 years, the Earth's temperature has risen by 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the last 100 years, the sea levels have risen by 8 inches. So at the rate that we are polluting the Earth, by the end of the century, the Maldives will no longer exist.
So here are some of our goals and purposes. We basically had two main straightforward goals. One was to lessen the carbon in the air by planting trees, and another one was to raise awareness. We decided these two as our goals because, as you know, the more carbon is emitted into the air, the more global warming is going to happen, and then it will directly cause the increase of sea levels, and later on, islands such as the Maldives will be sinking. Also, we decided to raise awareness because, like Grace mentioned before, a lot of people did not know about global warming at all, and they didn't know like how humans were affecting it tremendously. So we chose to lessen our carbon footprint by calculating how much carbon footprints we took, and then we wanted to get as much as possible, like much people to participate as possible. Also, we tried to make an introduction video because we thought that using visualization, there would be a greater impact and people would realize how much we're impacting the world.
Okay, so our accomplishments. Our first accomplishment was teaching at a middle school class, Mr. Borg. His class, he was my previous 8th grade science teacher, and so we understood that during the time of our lecture project, they were also doing a project called CBL, context-based learning, and they were talking about how to kind of cut down waste using renewable energy. So we thought that our project kind of could work with his lesson plan. And so what we did was we showed them the video that we showed you guys like 3 days ago. We showed them that video, and then we had discussions about it. They asked us questions, but we asked them questions as they were sitting in groups, so those groups discussed, and then we come back and as a whole we discuss those questions. And so we felt that that was quite an accomplishment for our project, as the classes seemed quite interesting, or the classes seemed quite interested. And then our second accomplishment was I went with Bobsy Gaia, who is a self-styled environmentalist. So Bobsy, because he had for the last 10 years he's been working on regrowing up the llama forest, and so in the last 10 years, over 20,000 trees have been either planted by him or just regrown naturally. And so I wanted to see if we could somehow incorporate that into our project. But unfortunately, since so many trees have been grown in the last 10 years, Bobsy feels that it no longer needs the help of humans. So instead of that, he gave us a tour, or gave myself, my mom, and my friend Kristen a tour through the forest. And we talked about maybe next year creating a petition because unfortunately the forest is not protected yet. So at any moment, companies could come in and create new housing and commercial things. So he was hoping that maybe that with the help of Sharon and I, we could help bring the petition to HKS and get people to sign it. And then our third accomplishment was Sharon. So unfortunately, she had a band concert for the scheduled tour on Lama Forest, so she couldn't make it. So instead of that, she got a backup plan, and she went to the Sharon school, and she taught 2 classes. So the first one was more of like an upper primary, so they were younger and they didn't know as much English, so it was a bit more difficult. But she was still able to get the point across about what global warming is and the effects it's having on our planet. But in the second course, they were older and more our age, and so they knew more English, and she was able to get into the details of the Maldives and spread awareness. So these are just some more pictures of the mama tour.
So as we deal with our project, we found that there were actually a lot of there were a lot of rough patches, and we actually learned that we shouldn't depend on others, and we should always be organized and have good time management. Because as you can see from the email below, we had like a conflict with time management, and Bobsy couldn't make. It was either Bobsy couldn't make the times, or we didn't have any time for the dates. So then we had a little trouble making up the Llama Island tree planting day. We also learned that we should always have backup plans, and teaching is not as easy as you think it is. Because as we were planning for both the CBL class and the Sharon school, we realized that we actually had to invest quite an amount of time to get ready and be able to teach those classes. However, we were both happy because we were able to achieve our goals to lessen the carbon emissions and also raise awareness. And we also, it was also very helpful because we had good communications. So we would always email and ask for feedback as well. And these are just some of our pictures from our project.
What's the time there?
Oh, 7:02.
7 or what?
2.
7 or